you can be successful having nothing to start with. Does everybody understand that rule? Yes or no? You believe that? Who believes it? Put your hand up. Put your hand up if you believe you can start a business with nothing. Thank you, Mary Beth. You can start a business with nothing. Is everybody listening? I want everybody to wave their hands. When I ask a question, everybody must answer, not only one student. Thank you. Does everybody understand that it is possible to run a business with no money? If not, you're going to learn today. Wave your hand if you heard me. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's talk about business from nowhere. Business from nowhere. You think it's impossible. Who thinks it's impossible? Ricardo, do you think running a business from nowhere is impossible? Hi, Ricardo, go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. For me, it's possible.
It is possible. Very good. Okay, anybody else thinks it's possible? Come on. I'm telling you it's possible. No one believes me. Almond, do you think it's possible?
Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Yes, I purely believe it is very possible, even to internet right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Almond. Okay, everybody on this page, Minavira, Joy, 698582, Josie Barinos, everybody I can see with their camera off. None of you will get a certificate unless your camera gets switched on immediately, or you're at work, and when I call on you, you show me that you're at work. You must send me a message saying you're at work, and if I do spot check you, I must see a picture of you at work. Otherwise, switch on your cameras. Otherwise, you may not get a certificate for attending today. This is your final warning. If you're at work, send me a message now, and when I check on you, make sure you can show me that you're at work. Thank you. All right, so let's go back, guys, and look at what does it take to run a business from nowhere? What does it take to run a business with no startup capital? Hello, Gayatri. Hi, Gayatri. Nice to see you again in your blue dress. How are you? Very good. Hello, Narissa. How are you, Narissa? You look very wonderful in red today. Nice to see you. Okay, let me share my screen and let's talk about running a business from nowhere. Just one moment, guys. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to talk today about running a business from nowhere. One moment, guys. Let me just get everything set up and share my screen. Here we go. Okay, all right, so what does it take? What does it take to make it happen? What does it take to make it happen? Is it impossible? No. Is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? Yes, it is. Can everybody see my screen? Wave your hands if you can see my screen. Okay, on the count of three, my colleague and co-host, Miss Medina, will register your attendance. On the count of three, you must have your cameras on, even if you're at work, okay? On the count of three, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Even if you're at work, you must have your camera on for attendance. Please keep your camera on until Miss Medina has registered all attendance. Hurry up, cameras on, please. I can still see cameras off. Your camera must be on for attendance, even if you're at work. Otherwise, no guarantee of a certificate. That is the rule. You should all know it. So please stop hiding. Camera on for attendance. Thank you. All right, we'll just count to 5 and then we'll go back to the lesson. 1, 2, keep your cameras on until I tell you otherwise. 3, 4, 5. Miss Medina, have you finished with the attendance? Thank you, ma'am. All right, let's start our lesson. Okay, so everybody can see my screen? Wave your hand if you can see my screen. Great. So what does it take? What does it take to start a business from nowhere? Well, a business from nowhere means you trying to run a business with no money in the bank, no investors, and no capital to support you. But you want to generate an income so you can live comfortably, knowing that in your country, the salaries are very low because of the education in your country not being of international standard. The education in your country is not recognized in the top 20% of the world so far as quality and standards of education. So no matter how hard you try in your country, your income is going to be limited based on the fact that you only have a local education. The only way to fix that is for you to study with us and get an international qualification, as you're all doing. And once you've graduated, that will help you. It will help you get a higher salary in your country. It will help you go overseas to work. But in the meantime, if you want to increase your income, how can you start a business without an income? As Mr. Ricardo, as other students told you here today, it is very much possible. It is definitely possible. Creating a business from scratch without any existing resources or connections is challenging, but not impossible. It is definitely possible. Airbnb started from nothing. Does everybody here know who Airbnb is? Who can tell me? Who was Airbnb? Put your hand up if you know. Who was Airbnb? Does anybody know the story? Okay, Ricardo, tell us. What's the story behind Airbnb, Ricardo? Share with your fellow classmates.
Sir, with the story, I'm not sure if I am telling it
That's
right,
okay.
but
Tell us
I
what
have
you know.
yes, I know about Airbnb is renting home space for travel destinations and tours.
Very good. Do you know how it started, Ricardo?
I'm not sure it when it was started, but all I know is with with zero investment or zero proper all you have to do is you have a property that you can rent to others, then you can earn some profit.
Very good. You're on the right track, Ricardo. Thank you for that. Who else wants to share with me? Rob Vilay, would you like to share with me? How did Airbnb come together? Go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Um, Airbnb is an American company operating an online marketplace for short-term and long-term homestays and experience in various countries. And
Right, but do you know how they started?
uh,
If you don't know, just tell me. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
All right, good. You're on the right track. They are definitely a homestay or home accommodation where people can rent a room. You are on the right track. Very good, Rivale. I appreciate your answer. Very good effort. Okay, let's talk to one more. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer Galolo. Can you tell me, how did Airbnb start?
They started with the roommate, and then they afford to they come up with the opportunity to see they bought the three mattresses, and then so they call it the idea came up with air bed and breakfast.
Okay,
That's
you're
why
on the
it's
right
called
track.
Airbnb.
You're on the right track. Thank you. All right. Well,
Yes.
let me help all of you. Airbnb or Airbnb started with nothing. They started with nothing. In actual fact, they had no money to pay their rent. No money to pay their rent. They were afraid that their landlord was going to throw them out. Does everybody understand that? They had nothing. They were almost homeless. So they had nothing. So let's go back to the lesson now and find out. Airbnb started with nothing and is today one of the most successful companies in the world. Let's find out how they did it, and let me teach you the skills that they utilize. Jane Valdez, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, all right. Can everybody see my screen? Medina, can you see my screen? Thank you. All right,
Yeah,
thank you. Okay, let's go on. So basically, what does it take to start a business from nowhere? It's very simple. The first thing you have to do as an individual is you have to know what opportunities exist for you in your country. You have to ask yourself, what are the problems that our country faces? What ideas can I bring to the people in my country without having to fork out thousands of dollars in capital? The guys at Airbnb had no money to pay their rent. They started by offering people to sleep in their own house in a sleeping bag air mattress for $80 a night. Now they are a multi-million-dollar business. You have to ask yourself, how can I make money with nothing? Unique value proposition is to develop a unique product or service that caters for the people in your country, or caters for people who are able to afford it online or through any market that you have available to you. But remember, when you come up with this opportunity, it must be one that will solve problems, not one that you're copying from your friends or from the internet. Building a strong foundation is critical. Airbnb had a very strong foundation. Airbnb had to address a problem, guys, of handling people's need for accommodation in a country they were visiting. And they found, how can we do this without having to rent hotels? Why not bring them into our own home? Why don't I use one of the bedrooms in my house to rent out for one night or 2 nights to a visitor and make money out of it? They built a strong foundation by having the right vision. As they grew, they then went and started asking for help and for money. But there's no point asking for help or money until you start a business and can show the investor that they need to invest, because you can prove that your business is successful. But you don't have to wait. You need to start first and show them a track record, just like Airbnb. Airbnb is not the only business that started with nothing. Does anybody here know who Uber is? Who is Uber? Does anybody know Uber? Anybody put their hands up and tell me, who is Uber? U-B-E-R. Anyone? Come on, somebody talk to me. What about you? Mr. Where are we? Where are all the men gone? What about you? Nurgul? Nurgul, can you tell me? Who was Uber, Miss Nurgul?
Hello, I'm sorry. I know what is Uber, that it's a taxi place, but I don't know
Very
who is
good.
Uber in the
Very
story.
good. Do you know how they started?
No, unfortunately.
They started from being one man who used to rent his car out to friends so he could make money. One man renting his car out to people so he could make money. Eventually, he started a car rental business where he bought a number of cars. That's where Uber started. It started from one man with his own car. He started a business from nowhere by using the car he owned. Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands, everyone? Very good. All right, let me go back to my screen. Okay, so, all right, so what we know so far is that Airbnb and Uber started a business by coming up with their own idea and building on a foundation from ground zero. Building a team, assembling a team with the necessary skills and expertise is a must. So when you start your business small, over time, you need to learn, what help do you need? How many people do you need to help you run the business? These are skills you need to learn to start a business from nowhere. When you first start, you can do it yourself. As it grows, you get another person to help you, your family or your friend. And as it grows, and as you start generating money, you employ more people to help you. You need to leverage on technology. Technology today, ladies and gentlemen, is a fundamental key to the success of any business. Look at McDonald's. Everybody knows McDonald's. Everybody knows Starbucks. Everybody knows Amazon. These businesses started from nothing. McDonald's started with 2 black Negroes selling hamburgers for 10 cents out of an old white shop at the top of a mountain in the United States. They were black Negro brothers that had never learned how to be chefs. They had no experience at running a business. They were the breaking point for McDonald's, the Golden Arches, that is a multi-billion-dollar company today with over 30,000 restaurants around the world. They started from nowhere. How did they do that? They started by contacting or connecting with one man called Raymond Albert Kroc, and by using the right business foundations, they were able to take their store to more than 120 stores. They started with 1. Eventually, McDonald's went from 120 to more than 30,000 stores online. Today, Amazon welcomes customers from all over the world. Before the recent epidemic, where people could not go out, people had to work from home. Before the recent epidemic or pandemic, as you all know it, millions of people died. People had to stay at home and work from home. The fact that Uber, the fact that Amazon, the fact that McDonald's had online ordering where people could order and have it delivered to their home without leaving their home, without having to leave their home and go out and buy it. They had automation, which enabled their business to grow. So if you want to start from nothing, you can leverage on technology like Amazon, Shopee, and other platforms to drive your business. You do not have to own your own platforms. Now, we talked a few weeks ago about drop ship, where you do not hold the stock. You actually sell somebody else's product. And when they paid you, you tell your supplier to ship directly to the customer. There's no investment required in stock because you're selling the stock directly by the picture or by the model number that your supplier has provided you. And when the customer orders from you, then you instruct your supplier to drop ship directly to your customer. But even for that, you need technology. You need to be adaptable. You need to be resilient. You need to be prepared to take the initiative to come up with new ideas. You need to be prepared to work night and day to make your business succeed. You need to be prepared to learn from your failure and not run away and cry every time you lose money. Because in order to be successful, you must fail. If you don't fail, you will not be successful. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Put your hand up. Failure is the ground or the most important ingredient of success. The harder you fail, the more you learn and the more successful you will be. Does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Put your hands up. Come on, hands up. Hands up, everyone. Jeffrey, Samia, are you listening to my lesson? Can you put your hand up when I ask a question, please? All right. So, failure is the key to success. The harder you fail, the more successful you will become. Does everybody understand that? Put your hand up. Come on, hands up. Very good. Okay. Look at Steve Jobs. He graduated from Brown's College. He started Apple. 2 years after he started a company, the board that he employed fired him and told him he was a danger to the business. Steve Jobs cried, "It was my company. I employed you. You're firing me." But Steve Jobs learnt the hard way. He went back to his garage and started 4 companies with his friends, Wozniak, okay, and the others. And as a result of his friends, he, 2 years later, was asked by the people that fired him to come back. He said, "No, you want me, you have to buy me." I got your message, Lermay. You can keep your camera on the bus, or you can switch it off as soon as you get off the bus. But please make sure you hurry up and switch it on again. Okay, so he told them, "No, you fired me. You want me back. You have to buy me." Not only did Apple buy one, they bought 4 companies that Jobs started. They paid an undisclosed sum of more than $400 million. Steve Jobs went back to Apple with his friends, Tim Cook and Wozniak, and now Apple is one of the most successful techno entrepreneurs in the world. No one would have been able to bring iPhone or Apple to you if it wasn't for Steve Jobs. Apple would have died if Steve Jobs said no. Because without Jobs, they had no iPhone, they had no Apple Mac, no Apple Macintosh, and they certainly did not have the information they needed to develop the iPhone or the language used for the iPhone. That was all thanks to Steve Jobs. Does everybody understand that? Failure will lead to success. Okay, so let's go on. So you have to be prepared to be adaptable and learn from your mistakes. So you need to switch on your camera. Having your camera off without you letting me know that you're at work will mean no certificate. Okay, let's go on. But adaptability, being adaptable, being resilient, and being prepared to learn. Networking and building partnerships with people. You have to network. Before you go out and try to start your own business from nowhere, talk to other people that are in business. Ask them for advice. If they can help you by letting you use their technology, form a partnership. But the main idea is for you to be able to start a business without the money that you don't have. Airbnb did it. Yes, they did it. Airbnb, ladies and gentlemen, just so you all remember, started when a man by the name of Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, struggling to have enough money to pay their rent in San Francisco and to make sure that the landlord doesn't throw them out, decided to rent out an air mattress in their apartment to people who were coming there for a design conference in 2007. They created a simple website and called it Airbed and Breakfast. Airbed refers to the air mattress, okay? Airbed and Breakfast. Their first guests paid $80 each for a night on the air mattress. When they saw that people were prepared to pay $80 to sleep in their little apartment, which they could not afford to pay the rent for, and sleep on an air mattress, they decided that they could make this a business. They were creative. They said, if people will pay $80 to stay with us, instead of paying $300 for a hotel, there must be a business. So They then contacted their best friend, Nathan, who was an IT developer and software developer. And they asked him to take their simple, self-done website and make it into a platform. They launched their platform as airbedandbreakfast.com in 2008. Since then, they have become a multi-million-dollar operation. They started with nothing. They're flat and an air mattress. So why business from nowhere? Why? You might be asking yourself, why should I take the headache and start a business from nowhere? Can anybody answer that? Why start a business from nowhere? Who wants to try? Put your hand up. Why do you want to start a business from nowhere? Put your hand up. Come on. Anyone? Yeah. Elmon, why would you want to start a business from nowhere, Elmon?
To give off a new concept to the world, be a unique product towards the market, and address some sort of different issue in current modern day. There's various ways that the various problems at the moment made by modern technologies and needs modern solution as well.
Very good. Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you, Elmon. Okay, let's talk to someone else. Who else? Let's talk to Jessica. Jessica, why start a business from nowhere, Jessica? Hi, Jessica.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Why-
I think
why-
we should start business from nowhere because if we start business from nothing, we will be able to know what the problem in the society, and we will be able to solve it, and then we will be resourceful and creative.
Good on you. Very
then
good. Jessica, you're on the right track. Good stuff. Thank you, young lady. I'll talk to you again. Let's go to Michelle. Michelle, why start a business from nowhere?
Yeah, definitely. I want to start a business from nowhere because basically no capital needed, no need to borrow money. At the same time, and I'll be able to help my surroundings to have a job as well. That's it, sir.
Good on you, Michelle. You're on the right track. Have you tried to start a business from nowhere, Michelle?
I did, sir. I did.
All right. And I hope today's lesson and the previous Biz Talks are going to teach you how to make it a lot better in the future. Would you agree with me, Michelle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good on you, Michelle. Don't run away, Michelle. I'm not going to hurt you. Stay with me when I'm talking to you, young lady, all right? Okay, good. Okay, let's go to Gemma. Hello, Gemma. Nice to see you, Gemma. Why would you start a business from nowhere, Gemma?
Thank you, Sir Wally. And good morning here from Medina, Munawara. Sir, to start with, it's easy for us to be able to, to conduct or to achieve that business. Wherever you go, wherever in this world, you can be a member of that stock, sir. And I
That's
am,
good.
and I did myself.
All right, well, Gemma, I know you've told me before you did, and I'm not sure whether it's still going, but I hope through these lessons, you're going to do more and you're going to grow and one day tell me how successful you become. Because Gemma, remember, never give up. Never say it's impossible. Everybody repeat after me. Nothing is impossible. Everybody say it. Nothing is impossible. Everyone.
Nothing is impossible.
Thank you, Gemma. Anything is impossible, providing that you believe in yourself. Everybody repeat after me. I believe in myself. Everyone.
I believe in myself.
I didn't see
Thank you,
your
sir.
lips moving, Jenilyn. Let me see you say it, Jenilyn. Jenilyn was being quiet. Now I have to make her say it. Hold on, Jenilyn. Okay, Jenilyn, open your microphone and tell everybody. I believe in myself.
I believe in myself.
Tell me, why do you want to start a business from nowhere?
Because this is a chance for me also to learn new skills and the ability to create something from nothing.
Absolutely. And tell me, by starting a business for yourself, what will that mean for your bank account?
Sorry, sir, again?
When you start a business from nowhere, what are you looking for? Are you looking to make money? Yes or no?
Yes,
The
of
go-
course.
Very good. So the idea of Janellen or anybody starting a business from nowhere is the idea of being able to create something which will give her an income or profit so she can build that business, be more successful and grow her business, as well as earn enough income to live above the poverty line. Would you agree with me, Janellen?
Yes, sir. I
Thank you
agree.
very much. Thank you.
100%.
Excellent.
And so,
All right. Anybody else want to share their idea with me? Okay, I've got one more here. Hello, 755-399. I'm amazed that you won't show me your real name, but welcome to today's session. Can you talk to me? Unmute your microphone. Hi. Talk to me. Say hello. I can't hear you. Hi, how are you? What's your name? What's your name?
I'm Maria Michelle.
Maria Michelle, you should show the name on the screen so my staff can send you a certificate. Okay, so if you go to participants, click on the arrow at the bottom of your screen, hit rename and type in your first name, Maria Michelle. I would appreciate if you could do that. But tell me, Maria, why do you think you want a business from nowhere? Tell me.
The only way to get work to love what is to starting to own business for me because I want to learn more.
And you think you're learning more from my sessions every week?
Yes, sir. Even I working here in Saudi, sir. Sir, really.
Right. Okay, well, you know, I know a lot of you work in Saudi and I know the jobs you do, and I know that you all want a better life. You want to get out of Saudi and run your own business. And this, you studying at Kingston and attending these sessions is going to be your door to success. I want you to keep pushing. And if you have any questions, come back to me. All right, Michelle? Thank you. All right, here we go. All right, so anybody else want to say anything before we go on? Okay, I have one more. Yes, Josephine, go ahead. Hi, Josephine.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ma'am Medina and my classmates.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir. I want to learn from nothing, sir, for a business because I want to be one of those successful business now. Learn from their mistakes as well and learn from my own.
Okay, let me give you an idea. I want you to remember Steve Jobs every night when you go to sleep. Steve Jobs graduated from one of America's best universities. It was the second most expensive at the time. He started a company and they fired him. They told him to get out because he was ruining the business. 2 years later, he came back. They bought 4 of his companies for more than $400 million. He went from nothing to success. Do you understand that, Josephine? Good on you. Say, I believe in myself.
I believe in myself, sir. I
Good
believe
on
to
you.
you, sir. Learn from you a lot.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's go on and talk more about what it takes to start from nowhere. Here we go. So to start from nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, is all about being able to make money. And you all know that making money is profit. The amount of money made after considering every avenue of earnings and expenses is the profitability of a business. If a business is not profitable, it will not last. So when you start a business from nowhere, you have to keep your expenses to a minimum. Do you understand that? Your expenses to a minimum. That means do not put stock in your house. Do not buy large amounts of stock and keep them at home unless you need to. Opt for drop shipping, where you agree with the supplier that every time you sell, you will actually pay him and he will ship directly to your customer. Number 2, opt for a business that you can sell online and people can order through Amazon or somewhere, and you can put the stock directly in an Amazon distribution center. You don't need to keep it at home. Because once you put your goods in Amazon, yes, Amazon will charge you a commission on every sale, but Amazon will promote your goods or your product or services to millions of customers on the Amazon platform. These are customers that you don't know. But there is a price to pay. On every pen that you sell on Amazon, Amazon will take a commission. It's still cheaper than you buying $10,000 worth of pens and then waiting 2 years to sell them. Profitability and profit are not the same. Both are accounting formulas used to analyze financial success of a company, but there are distinct differences between the two. Listen and listen carefully. Write it down. To adequately determine whether a company is financially sound or poised for growth, investors must understand what differentiates the company's profit from its long-term profitability. What is profitability? Profitability is when you measure how efficient the business is. It's used to determine the scope of the company's profit in relation to the size of business and ultimately its success or failure. There are two parts to a company's profitability: how much revenue you generate and how much your expenses are. So, if your expenses exceed your revenue, you are losing money and you will go bankrupt. If your revenue only covers your expenses but does not leave you enough money, which is extra, you are not making any profit. You are breaking even. Businesses cannot break even for more than 1 year. Even businesses, companies that are extremely profitable and have bright futures, can be failures if they cannot maintain profitable operations. Now, what usually happens to a lot of young entrepreneurs like you is you get greedy too quickly. You start a business, you make $1,000, so then you decide, oh, I'm good. I'm going to employ all my friends. I'm going to get people to work for me. What happens is your income then has to pay salaries which you can no longer afford, and you are no longer profitable. There's no point you investing $1,000 in fashion garments, putting them in your house and waiting 6 months to sell them. It's better that you communicate with a supplier, agree to sell his garments, and do a deal whereby he drop ships to your customers after they bought it from you. That is the best way to start your own business, whether it's fashion, whether it's stationery, whether it's any item. Drop shipping is the best way for you to start from nowhere. How is the profitability of a business determined? There are several factors that come into play, guys. Most of these can be shaped by the company and its management team, while others may not necessarily be easy to control. You have to control your expenses, the cost of running the business. Your expenses include wages, salaries, maintenance, rent, and depreciation. For now, forget about rent. Forget about wages. Do it yourself. Once you go from a one-person business and you have 50 to 100 customers, then ask yourself, can I afford to pay a lower salary to one of my friends or family to help me? Because remember, the more expenses you have to pay, these expenses will come out of the income your business generates. And that means you have either zero profits and run a loss, or you barely break even with no profit. Remember, any expenses you create will eat away the revenue and your profits. Conducting focus groups, asking people around you what they want and what products or services they're interested in before you try to start a business from nowhere is very important. It's not hard. Ask your friends, ask your parents, go on the street with a big poster, say, I am going to start a donut business. Would you eat my donuts? Offer them samples. Bake 20 donuts at your house. Go onto the street. Walk down the street where there's people. Say, hey guys, I am planning to open a donut business. Would you like to taste one of my donuts? Would you buy it? If they say yes, say, great. Can I get your name and email address so when I start my donut business, I'll email you? You need to test your market before you try to open a business. Now, for those of you who work in Saudi Arabia, it's pretty hard, but you can ask your friends on social media, hey guys, if I was to start a business selling fashion, would any of you buy this fashion? How much would you pay for it? Does everybody understand what I mean by experimentation? Testing the ground? Yes or no? Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Very good. Okay, let me go back to the lesson. So, conducting focus groups, asking questions before you start wasting your time buying products from factories, wasting investment on product that you can't sell. Demand. You have to understand how many people out there want your product or service. How many girls in your country, in the Philippines or Saudi Arabia, would be prepared to buy a Filipino product while they're working in Saudi Arabia? How many girls in Saudi Arabia, Filipino girls, want the services of a Filipino makeup artist that can do their makeup on weekends when they have a day off from her own home or from her own room without paying rent? However, if you work with someone, they might not allow you to do that, so be careful. All right? So ask yourself, what sort of business can I start? How can I start it? And how do I know whether anybody's going to buy my product or service? You need to do that by doing online research through social media, through your friends, or through talking to people. Productivity. When you decide to start your own online business from nowhere, or even if you decide to start a business selling food from outside your house in the Philippines, Indonesia, or in any part of the world, you need to make sure that you are being productive. That means that you're prepared to wake up every morning at 4 o'clock, cook the food, display it on the tables outside. So at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, when people are leaving home or want breakfast, they can come to your stall and buy it. If you cannot deliver that every day, day after day, don't waste your time, because you may have the customers one day and on the next day you're closed, they won't come back. Companies can accomplish, anyone can accomplish a business from nowhere by making improvements and increasing productivity. So if today, for example, Michelle decided to start a chicken adobo business in Saudi Arabia that is halal, and she only sold chicken adobo on her days off, she has to make sure that all the Filipinos in Medina or in any city in Saudi Arabia where she is will be able to come and eat her adobo on the weekend. If she can't do that, she might as well not waste her money. And also, it may be dangerous for her to do that in Saudi Arabia because it may be in breach of her work permit. So it would be better for her to start an online business that is online and will not break the law if you're working in Saudi Arabia. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Put your hand up. Very good. For instance, companies may consider increasing their production or buying more production equipment once they know they have tested, they have started a business from nowhere, and they have measured their sales pattern over 6 months. Before that, no need to invest in equipment. Before that, no need to pay rent. Before that, you don't need any staff. You can do it yourself. Start an online drop shipping business. where you don't need to invest in stock, you don't need to pay rent, you can do it through your computer after you're finished work online, and you can actually grow it slowly. That is the safest proposition for you. Now, you might ask yourself, what about my competition? Yeah, absolutely. There will be competition. There will be competition. But remember that in past sessions, I've told you, before you start a business, you have to understand the 5 C's of business. Does everybody remember those 5 C's? Yes or no? Put your hand up to remember. Hurry up. Okay, who can tell me what's the first one of the 5 C's of business? Go ahead, Ricardo. What is the first one? Yeah, go ahead, Ricardo.
5 C's is customer centric.
What are they? Understand the customer.
Yeah, understand the customer, put the customer in your shoes, and the cost, the location, the product, and
the price. The price.
price, yes.
Okay, so you need to put yourself in the customer's shoes.
Yes.
Understand what sort of product or service they're interested in. Because remember, people do not buy products because they want them. People look at products when they want it. They only buy it when you tell them or show them, make them feel like they need it. Do you understand that, everyone? Remember, the most powerful salespeople in the world practice one line. Why sell when people will buy? Do you understand that? Does iPhone have to promote the product? No. Only thing iPhone does is say to the millions around the world, on the 16th of October this year, I will launch iPhone 16. What happens on the 16th of October? Ricardo, what do you think happens? What do you think happens at all the iPhone shops around the world?
They will launch the iPhone 16 as well as all they have to do is just show the product, the new product.
And what happens? What will happen to all their
People will
consumers?
come because
They will line
because
up, right? They will
Yes,
line
yes.
up for 5 hours. And it comes back to
early
the-
as the day before. They
the
already
day
lined up.
before. Thank you very much. Does Apple promote the price? No.
No,
Does Apple promote the phone?
no.
All they say is this year, on the 16th of October, I will launch iPhone 16. That's it.
And people
That's
will
it.
already come to the Apple store.
And trust me, people will line up one night before with their sleeping bag like I used to do many years ago when I was crazy. All right, now I don't have time. But now I have an 8-year-old daughter who tells me, Daddy, the next time there's an iPhone, me and you will line up together because she wants to experience it. So I'm not going to tell her when the next iPhone launches, Ricardo, because she will make me take her.
Sir, she may know it. Internet is common and she
Well,
can use internet.
Yeah, well, she has an iPad and she surfs her iPad every night. You are right. So she may be reminding me. You're right. Okay, so remember, why sell when people buy? The same goes for you, Gemma. Why do you have to promote something when people will buy it? All you have to do is make sure you come up with a product or service that people want and tell them why they want it. Why is it good for them? That's all you have to do. Come buy my adobo sauce because my adobo sauce is real adobo. It will remind you of your grandmother. All right? Now, if people love adobo the way their grandmother made it, then you don't have to promote it. They will believe in you and buy it. But you have to find a way to promote something so you take them from wanting it to saying, I need it. Okay? Now, let me ask you, in Saudi Arabia, in Medina, not many people sell adobo sauce. So you could be the first of a kind to make adobo, freeze it, and sell it to people living in Medina. But you need your boss's permission. Don't break the law, all right? Okay, so does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Okay, let's go on. So remember the saying, why sell when people buy? People will buy once you offer them something that they feel they need, not want. Need. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me ask you. All right, how many of you live in the Philippines now? Put your hand up. Who's in the Philippines? Okay, good, excellent. Let's talk to Christine Joy. Christine Joy Garcia, are you there? Can you unmute your microphone, Christine? Unmute your microphone.
Hello,
Hi,
sir. Good
Christine.
evening.
Christine,
Good
let me
evening,
ask you.
everyone.
Good evening. When you go out to buy makeup, when you go out shopping, do you need that makeup? No, you want it, right? You think you want
Yes,
makeup,
sir.
correct? And when
Yes,
you
sir.
go into the makeup shop, the only time you buy that makeup is when somebody tells you that it's going to make you look good and you need it. Would you agree with that, Christine?
It depends, sir. Maybe I need also for the occasion.
It's only when you need it because you need it
Yes,
for an
sir.
occasion. Need. Very good. Thank you,
Yes.
Christine. Thank you for
Thank you.
confirming
Thank you,
that.
sir.
I'll go one step further. Let me talk about somebody else. Where's Mr. Ricardo? Mr. Ricardo, are you there? Mr. Ricardo, are you single? You're single, is that right? You're single? Okay. No, Mr. Ricardo's not. Who's single here? Is there any young man who's single? Single. Okay, let's talk to Marissa. Can I talk to you, Marissa? Are you single? Open your microphone, Marissa. Hi, Marissa.
Yes, sir. I'm single, sir.
Okay, so Marissa, I'm going to ask you a question. It's nothing personal. I just want you to help me because you're single. Tomorrow, Marissa wants to go to a nightclub with her best friend. Okay, listen carefully. Now, Marissa has gone to the nightclub 20 times, and every time she goes there, she walks away not finding the guy that she dreams of. She meets a lot of guys. Some of them are old like me. Some of them are rich like Ricardo, but she doesn't like us. We're not the ideal personality for her. Are you with me, Marissa? Listen, Marissa. Okay, so tonight, Marissa says to her friend, we're going to go to a different nightclub tonight, not the usual one we go to in Manila, the cheap one. We're going to save $50 and go to the new American nightclub where people line up for 2 hours to get in. But before we go there, we need to do new hairstyle, which is fashionable. We need to make sure our makeup is perfect, and we need to make sure we're wearing sexy black dresses with high heels, right? Marissa's friend says, yeah, okay, but how are we going to do that? And Marissa's going to say, well, if we're going to go out and do this, we have to decide whether we want to waste our money and take the risk or not. Marissa and her friend will say yes, right, Marissa? Hypothetically. So then Marissa will make an appointment at a beauty salon for her and her friend. They'll go there and there'll be this young Korean stylist and they'll tell him, tonight, we're both going to this brand new American nightclub. We want a new look. We want to look trendy, so we get in because this nightclub only likes people who are trendy. We want you to do our makeup. We want to look like the trendiest girls on the block. Then they go shopping for shoes and a dress. At the end of the day, they have spent $1,000, hypothetically. But why did they do that? Marissa, why did you do that? Tell me why. Marissa?
I do that, sir. Sir,
Why did you? Yeah, go on.
I do that because I like to do.
Because you want to do, and
Yes,
you
I
think
want
that
to
you
do.
need to do it. Very good.
Yes,
So
correct.
thank you, Marissa, for allowing me to use you as an example. Thank you very much. Okay, so what Marissa just said was she would be prepared to spend $500 or $1,000 because her and her girlfriend decided they need to do it. All right. But if Marissa just got told by her mother, Marissa, why don't you do this? Marissa might say, because she doesn't need it. It's only when her and her friend decide that they need it that she decides to spend her money. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Very good. Excellent. And hopefully somebody like a young guy younger than me is going to see them that night, and they're going to both walk out with the boyfriend of their dreams, right? Because her want turned into something that she feels she needs. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Very good. Let me go back to my slides here. Okay, all right. So competition, there's a lot of competition out there. But if you focus on delivering the right service, and if you have become centric and understand the 5 C's about your customer, if you have done your research and know what your customers need and what they are prepared to pay, how much are they prepared to give you out of their hard-earned money, then you've done market testing. You should be able to overcome your competition. However, if Ricardo just opens another adobo shop because the adobo shop next door sells adobo, and his adobo is not 25 times better than theirs, no one will buy his adobo. So you need to make sure that you can counter your competition, not by meeting their standard and lowering the price, but exceeding their standard, exceeding their quality, and then competing. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right, so how to increase your productivity or profitability when you start from nowhere? Cut the fat. What do I mean by cut the fat? That means do not waste money on rent. Do not waste money on buying stock and keeping it in your own house. Do not waste money on paying people a salary. Use drop shipping. Use online selling through Amazon, where the stock is stored directly at Amazon. You buy it and have it sent directly to the Amazon warehouse that you're placed in. But Amazon will charge you a commission. So if you have one supplier and he's prepared to ship directly to your customer, you can save money. You sell the t-shirt for $20, you give the supplier $11, the t-shirt costs $8, he has $3, he ships it to your customer, drop shipping. The only expense you run is selling it on social media or promoting it through your social media and eventually through your own website. That's the cheapest way to run the business. Do you all understand that? Cut the fat. Trust those who are loyal to the brand. All right? Remember, look at your customers, the people who said they would buy your product. Listen to what they want and keep offering them products that they want or can afford. Don't try to offer everything to everyone, especially if you're in drop selling. I think last week I gave you a video about one man who started a drop selling business. Do you remember that, Ricardo? Yes? And he told you when he first started, he kept the items very simple, cheap items which people could afford. And he kept adding items that people want. He didn't go too expensive, but he only had 5 or 10 items to start with. Eventually, he has 50 items, and all through drop shipping. He does not keep his own stock. He simply sells through Amazon or website, and all the items ordered are drop shipped directly through the supplier to the consumer. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Cross-sell. Today, I sell an orange pen. Next week, I offer an orange pencil. The week after, I offer an orange mouse. The week after, I offer an orange stapler. So you're cross-selling all the stationery in the same color. So a young lady like Marissa, that's fashion conscious, might want all the stationery on her desk to be orange, pink, or red. You have a product that's unique. Stick with one product. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Look for new ventures and opportunities. Don't try to do this alone. Talk to your friends. Talk to other people in your country, from your country. or people from overseas like myself who can give you ideas on how to build a business from nowhere. Don't do it unless you understand it. If you need help, as I told you last week, you can WhatsApp me. I'd be happy to explain to you briefly. But remember, you have to do the work. I can only answer a question if you have one. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Last week, you got the video link for the man who started a drop ship business. I suggest you watch that video 5 or 10 times. He is one of the most successful people that ever started a drop shipping business. He went from $1,000 to $10,000 in 3 days. And now he generates a lot more. Now he generates somewhere around $50,000 to $60,000 on an average week. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay. Although a business or company can realize a profit, this does not necessarily mean the company is profitable. That's because the cost of running the business may be higher than the profit it generates. Let's talk about that. Okay. How many of you here go to McDonald's to buy a hamburger? Put your hand up. How many of you buy a hamburger? Very good. Does anybody know how much the hamburger costs McDonald's to make? Does anybody have any idea? Just tell me. Who has an idea? Put your hand up. One Big Mac. How much does it cost McDonald's to make it? Does anybody know? Put your hand up. Don't be afraid. Okay. Yes, Elisa, what do you think? Elisa? Go ahead, Elisa. Well,
$5.
Well, I think you're a bit exaggerated, Lisa. A hamburger, a basic hamburger, just hamburger, not Big Mac, costs McDonald's less than 36 cents to make it. 36 cents based on food cost. The bun, the meat, the sauce, the pickles, and the ketchup. By the time they add the labor, the rent, and electricity, it may reach $1. They sell it for some $4 or $5 in most countries. Ricardo, have you eaten a Big Mac lately, Ricardo? Do you know how much it costs to make a Big Mac, Ricardo? Yes, Ricardo? You have to unmute your microphone, Ricardo. Do you know how much it costs to make a Big Mac, Ricardo?
I usually, sir, if I'm not, I'll make a wild guess. Maybe McDonald's will have a 60 to 70% profit because of their operation expense or whatsoever.
Well, let me tell you, the profit on any burger at McDonald's is 70% plus, minimum, 70% plus. So a Big Mac would probably cost them $1.80 to manufacture, including expenses, and they sell it for something like $4 to $5 in most countries.
Sir, that includes the logistics, sir. Logistics, etc.
Just bear with me. Somebody is playing with my screen. Can you bear with me for a moment, please? Hold on. Whoever opened that screen on my computer, if you do it again, I'll remove you from the class. This is your final warning. Okay. If you talk about logistics, I'm talking about the frozen hamburger patty arriving at the restaurant. Okay. Arriving at the restaurant, because remember, McDonald's stores buy their raw material from a McDonald's distribution warehouse. They can't buy from anyone else. So everything is bought in large quantities by McDonald's and is put into these large distribution warehouses in countries all over the world. So the price of the raw material is fixed by McDonald's. A box of hamburger patties might only be $35. Okay. A box of French fries to the restaurant might only be $12 US, right? So they buy at a fixed price and they cannot decide the price. The price is decided by McDonald's Corporation all over the world. So what we're talking about, that includes logistics, yes, sir. It includes logistics to the point of production in the restaurant, sir, yes. Now, in some countries, Ricardo, in some countries, there may be a fluctuation in the 70%, but on average, across the world, they are somewhere between 65 and 70% margin. So, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. So does everybody understand what we mean about profitability? Yes or no? Does everybody understand that? Yes? Imagine the guy at Airbnb. They bought an air mattress for $30 at Kmart. They rented it out for $80 for one night. They already got their $30 back. Whether they sold the same mattress again or not, if Ricardo slept one night on that mattress and paid them $80, the mattress cost them $30. They had $50 profit. They had no expenses. They did it in their own house. Do you understand what I mean by starting from nowhere? Yes or no? Come on, everybody, wave your hands. Do you understand what I mean by starting a business from nowhere? Thank you. Excellent. All right. Let me go back to my slides. Okay, so starting a business from nowhere is not impossible. It is possible. The bottom line, although they sound similar, okay, the bottom line is profit and profitability are handled almost exclusively when it comes to investing in business management. So when you decide on what products you're going to sell, how you're going to sell them, whether you're going to keep stock or drop ship, all of this will count towards your profitability. Remember, buying 1,000 pens from China, investing $500 US means $500 US you don't have. However, if you invest $100 US and buy 200 pens, when they sell out, you order more. Pens, you cannot drop ship from China because there will be a minimum ordering quantity. But if you want to buy t-shirts, mouse, pads, or even pens, you can negotiate that with a Chinese supplier on the basis that, listen, I will promote your product and try to sell 200 units every month, but I will pay you a price that we agree on. You want $1.50 per pen? I will pay you $4.50 per pen to include $3 for postage. And I will sell the pen at the price I decide. If I can sell 200 pens a month, you keep selling me the pens on a drop ship basis. And he might say, okay, I can do that, Marissa, but you have to sell a minimum 200 pens a month. Okay? Do you understand that, Marissa? Or you could say, in the first month, I will sell 100. In the second month, I will sell 200. And I will keep increasing by 100 every month. But before you do that, you have to make sure you understand your market and what your market wants. Do you all understand that? Yes or no? Very good. Breaking even. A break-even point is used in multiple areas of business and finance. In accounting terms, break-even is when you earn $1,000 in revenue and your expenses are $1,000. That means whatever you sell, the money you get, you pay out for stock, rental, wages, etc. You have zero in profit. That is break-even point. Now, it's okay to operate at break-even point for 1 month, for 2 months. But if you're starting a business from nowhere, you should not go with break-even point for more than 2 months. You should be profitable. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand. Come on. Elisa, very good. Excellent. You need to know what your break-even point is to build a profitable business. So let's talk about the break-even point. Okay, let's talk about the break-even point. Let's talk about a McDonald's Big Mac hypothetically. If we said that the McDonald's Big Mac cost them no more than $2 to manufacture, including rent, electricity, and salary. the break-even point would be $2. However, if they want to make a profit and be sustainable, they have to at least sell it for $4 or $4.50. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Because if they sell it for $2.10, only 10 cents profit. 10 cents profit is not going to give you enough capital to grow your business. So you need to understand that break even is what you have to make to pay your expenses. Everything above that is profit. So if it costs you $2, you should be planning at selling it at $2 at $4.50. If the pen costs you $1.50 and it has to be posted from China, and that is going to be $2, so the minimum you're going to charge your customer for the pen is $3 plus shipping. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand. Very good. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Okay, who has the questions for me? Yes, go ahead, Elisa. What's your question? Elisa? Hi, Elisa. What's your question?
No, sir. I don't have questions, sir.
Okay, thank you, Elisa.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, does anybody else have a question? Where are we all? Where's Jacqueline? Jacqueline Porton, are you there? Hi, Jacqueline. Do you have any questions for me, Jacqueline? Hello, Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Everyone. No, nothing.
Do you understand what I'm teaching you today, Jacqueline?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Do you understand what I've explained
Can you hear
so
me?
far? Yes, I can. Do you understand what I've
Yes,
explained?
sir.
Do you understand what I have explained, Jacqueline?
Yeah.
Okay, good on you. Thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, Miss Medina, could you send everybody the link to today's lesson material, please, Miss Medina? Can you put it in the chat box, please, Miss Medina? Okay, if you go to your chat box, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host and my boss today, Miss Medina, will share with you today's lesson material. Miss Medina, have you shared the material? Thank you very much. Everybody, please make sure you download the material from your Zoom chat box now. Can everybody do that now? Please show me your thumbs up so Medina can see it as well. As soon as you've downloaded, all 279 students, I want to see thumbs up. Come on, hurry up. Narissa? Thank you. Christine Isada? Thank you. Kong C2? Thank you. Christine Joy Garcia? Thank you. Thank you, Miss Medina. All right, so let's go back to our class. All right, so remember, ladies and gentlemen, in economics and business specifically, cost accounting takes the break-even point is the point at which the cost or expenses and revenue are equal. There is no net loss or gain. This is not a healthy way to run a business. For example, if it costs $20 total to manufacture a product, if it sells for $20 exactly, it is the break-even price. To actually be profitable, you would have to sell this $20 product for at least $35 or $40. Okay, so let's talk about this. Types of break-even. Revenue break-even, time break-even, and unit break-even. So let's talk about this. When you talk about revenue break-even, you have to make sure that whatever it costs you to actually produce that product and have it ready for your customer, you need to charge exactly what it costs you. That is break-even. Time break-even. You need to make sure that the money you generate every month covers all the salaries and the time and effort you're putting into your business. Unit break even. You have to make sure that if you have 100 units in your warehouse every month, that you sell all those 100 units at the same price in order to be able to generate profit rather than discounting and having to sell them at cost price and generate no profit. The different types of break even include unit break even point, the number of units needed to sell to break even, revenue break even, the amount of revenue needed to generate the break even, and the time break even point, the amount of time it will take for your business to break even. So let's talk about all of that in simple terms. The time it takes to break even is the time that you're going to spend running the business without a profit. 1 month break even is okay. 2 months break even is okay. If you keep going 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, you're wasting your time. That means either the price you've settled on does not cover your cost, or the margin on your price is too low. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me give you an example. How many of you young girls go to a hairdressing salon, a fancy hairdressing salon in Manila? Anybody here goes to a salon? Put your hand up. Anybody? Okay, let's talk to Janilyn. Janilyn, you go to a salon? Hi, Janilyn.
Hello, sir. But not
You go.
very, not
Okay.
very often. Here in Singapore, I mean that.
Okay,
I
all
do
right.
the
So,
color
all
my
right.
hair.
Okay, let me tell you. Every time Janilyn goes to a salon in Singapore, the stylist that's doing her hair, most of them do not make a salary. Do you know that, Janilyn? They don't get a salary. Do you know how they make money, Janilyn? Do you know how?
Oh, how's it?
They pay rent to the salon for the chair that you use. Okay, so this is how it works. Ricardo goes to the salon, says, I'm a great colorist. I have 50 girls that love me. They want me to do their hair every month. The salon says, okay, Ricardo, I'll rent you one chair for 5 days a week. Every day, you must generate minimum rental of $120 a day. Okay? Now, on top of that, if you do hair coloring, I will deduct $10 for the materials. I will deduct $2 for electricity. If you do simple shampoo, cut and blow wave, I'll only deduct $7. So what happens is Ricardo pays $100 a day, and he has to bring in enough customers to pay the $100, all the extras that the salon will charge him, and make money for himself. You understand that? Okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if Janilyn goes to the same salon and the same colorist does her hair and she pays him $100 for the coloring, out of that $100, the chair rental could be $80 a day. So he needs 10 customers, okay, each to give him $8 to cover it, okay? So then if they all do coloring, the salon deducts $12 for the color and the material. So out of what he charges, they will take $12. And remember, the salon says the average coloring price for a girl like Janilyn for her hair length is $150. So out of that $150, he has to make sure he covers the rental on his chair for the day and all the costs that he incurs using the material, right? So if he has 10 girls like Janilyn a day, each of them spends $120. That's $1,200. Out of the $1,200, he would minus off $80 for the chair. That leaves him with $1,120. He had 10 girls. The cost of the color that he used is $12 per girl. That's $120 minus $120. That would leave him with $1,000. Then the salon will say, you used our dryer, our shampoo, and our equipment. That's another $5. That's another $50. That would leave him with $950. That would be his profit for the day. You understand that, everyone? And that's why some very famous colorists or stylists, as Janelle tells you, do not work every day. They work 3 days a week or 4 days a week. Why? Because they know Janelle will come back for him every time. And she will make sure she comes when he's working because she doesn't trust anyone else. Am I right, Janelle?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
one concept of making money. So this guy doesn't have to rent his own salon. He doesn't have to buy thousands of dollars worth of chairs, wash basins, and coloring solution. He pays rent to a salon, uses their coloring, all the colors they have, all the equipment they have, and he pays them a certain fee in return, and he makes a profit. It's the same as drop shipping when you're selling products, but it's another form of drop services. Do you understand that, Janelle?
Yes, sir.
Does everybody understand the difference I just gave you? Yes or no? Okay, all right. The same happens with food. The same happens with food. Some people, you go into a shopping mall in Manila or in Singapore, you see people set up these like trolleys in the middle of the shopping center, and they're only there for 1 or 2 days. They pay the shopping center a rent for the table or the trolley. They sell the product for 1 or 2 days. They walk away. They don't rent shops and pay monthly rental. They're called a pop-up store. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Let me tell you, I have a friend in Australia who was 15 years old. I know his parents. When he used to go to school, he used to go to the kitchen with his mother and make donuts. He got so good at making donuts that on the weekends, he used to make 2 or 3 dozen donuts and go and sell them to his neighbors and friends. They all used to buy his donuts and cupcakes. One weekend, he said to his parents, how about I bake 500 cupcakes or donuts and I will rent a pop-up store in a shopping center. Janelle, I want you to use your calculator. He sold 500 cupcakes for $5 each. How much did he generate?
Oh, is that? Sorry?
He sold 500 cupcakes
Yes.
at $5 each. How much did he generate?
2,500.
He did that for 2 days. He
Wow.
generated $5,000 from this shopping center. Do you know how much his rent was at the shopping center for 2 days?
Don't have an idea, sir.
It was a small shopping center. They only charged him $1,000 for 2 days. He walked
1,000,
away,
1,000.
yeah, he walked away with $1,500. The materials that he used in his mother and father's kitchen cost him $500. Let me tell you, 2 weeks later, he went back to another shopping mall, a bigger one. He paid $2,000 rent a day for 2 days. He sold 3,000 cupcakes a day at $5 a piece. That weekend, he went home with more than $50,000. He was 16 years old. Today, he owns one of the biggest cupcake shops in Australia. He owns 7 stores. He started from doing drop selling at a shopping center. He used to bake the cupcakes in his own house with his mother and grandmother helping him. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? He went to the shopping mall. He said, here are my cupcakes. I want to sell them for 2 days. I'm a student. Give me a good rent. The shopping malls arranged it for him on weekends. They gave him a small table. They felt sorry for him. Eventually, every time he did it, he made more money. Guess what the shopping center said? No more discount. Now you pay full rental. But that was okay because his cupcakes were famous. Do you understand that, everyone? Now he has his own factory. He has people that sell the cupcakes for him. Now he's 23 years old, 24 years old. He was a self-made millionaire when he was 18. Do you understand how you can start a business from nowhere? Yes or no? Okay, very good. Let's go back to our slides. Okay, so the difference from break even to profitability, we already understand. Break even analysis is not only used for taking strategical decisions on whether you grow your business or look for investors, but also on how you actually modify your business to increase sales day to day. Here we go. Break even analysis for day-to-day business operations. Number one, look at your goals. Look at what is your goal. How long are you able to survive with break even? Look at your plans. Do you have enough product and enough customers buying your product to actually sell the product that you want to sell? Is your product something that people need to buy? Number three, do you have enough suppliers to supply enough products to interest people to buy them? Number four, do you have enough new products to introduce to your customers week after week? And number five, are you selling at the right price? Remember, if the t-shirt costs you $3 and you're going to drop ship it from a factory in Vietnam to Australia, to post it is another $3. So you need to sell your t-shirt for maybe $7 each plus $3 postage. Otherwise, you lose money. What are your goals? Through break-even analysis, you as a company should determine how many t-shirts you need to sell, how much you need to sell it for in order for you to generate enough profit so you can expand. Planning. You need to make sure you're generating enough profit and saving money to grow your business by being able to sell more stock, different stock, and maybe you can reduce the cost of that stock by going from drop shipping to putting stock in your own bedroom and shipping it from your bedroom. But don't do that until your business grows. Start with drop shipping. Material. Make sure that you're able to access goods which you can sell and you have a supplier who will drop ship for you at the beginning of your business. New product. Make sure that you are constantly looking for new items to sell, which will get your customers to become repeat customers. And the price. Make sure your price is not low and that you exceed the break-even point. Okay, so let's look at this. The benefits of break-even analysis. First, you cover your costs. You set revenue and sales targets. You make sure you have enough money to cover the electricity to open your computer every night, have internet connection to run your online dropshipping business. Make sure you don't forget any expenses when you set the price for your goods. Make sure you make careful decisions and not assume anything, and make sure you price your product smartly. For example, the t-shirt in Vietnam costs you $2 to buy. However, the supplier says, if you want me to post it anywhere in the world for 2 t-shirts, minimum, I will charge $4 postage. For 5 t-shirts, I will charge $7 postage. Or he might say, for every t-shirt, I will charge you $3 postage. Remember, the postage is paid by the customer on top of the cost of your t-shirt. So if I order a t-shirt and it costs to you is $2.50, you should sell that t-shirt for $7 plus $3 shipping. So the cost to the end consumer would be $10 for one t-shirt. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? A lot of businesses make a mistake. They say $2 for the t-shirt, $1 for shipping, $3, I sell my t-shirt for $6. You're not covering your costs, you're breaking even, okay? Because if the cost of the t-shirt is $3, shipping is $1, that's $4, and you sell it for $5, you're getting $1. $1 does not even pay for your time that you spend every night in front of your computer. You could be outside doing a part-time job in a supermarket making more money. Do you understand that, everyone? Yes or no? Smart pricing. So remember, if it costs you $3, shipping is $2, $5, then you should be looking at a price of $10 or $11 at minimum. Better decision making, I think I've covered that. Figure out missing expenses. Make sure that you take into account the electricity you use, your internet subscription every month, which you have to cover. All right? Okay? Make sure if you have to ring the supplier to negotiate or to make sure that he drop ships every week, the time it takes to ring him, the cost of the calls, all of that should be calculated into the average cost. Set a minimum sales revenue and target. Like the video that I shared with you last week, drop shipping. In 2 days, he had $10,000 in sales. You have to set yourself a goal. In day 1, $100. In day 3, $1,000. In day 5, $1,500. You have to make sure you do your market research before you start selling the product. Make sure you meet all of your fixed costs. Remember, here we go. Break-even point is the revenue you need to generate, which is $400,000 to pay your expenses. To do that, you need to sell 4,000 units to generate $400,000. If you generate only $30,000, you may survive for 1 or 2 weeks. However, if you generate $20,000, you've already lost money. In actual fact, if you generate $30,000, you're still losing money, but your loss will be smaller. In order for you to make a profit, you have to generate $401,000. Every dollar over $400,000 is where you become profitable. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? So if the t-shirt costs $2.50, you sell it for $5.50 or $6 per t-shirt plus shipping costs. You're already making 100+% profit. So you will actually exceed the break-even point. You will be profitable, provided you have actually covered all your fixed costs before you set the price of your product. Break-even point is that point of sale where the revenue generated by the company is equal to the total cost incurred by it. It is a position where the organization is a no profit, no loss situation. That's not the way you run a business. And it's not the way to run a business from nowhere. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? All right, I expect at least 50 questions. Who's going to ask the first one? Put your hand up. First question. Come on, hurry up. Any ideas? I'm here to help. Anybody has ideas about their own business? Hurry up, put your hands up. Okay, let's start. I've only got 2 hands. I want to see 20 hands. Hurry up, 20 hands. Yes, you need to download the link we sent you, Tandaswi, Jasmine. Download it from the chat group. Medina, could you share the material again in the chat group, please? Miss Medina, my co-host, could you share the lesson material again, please, ma'am? Thank you. All right, let's talk to Ricardo. Hi, Ricardo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am curious with the revenue break even. So is this similar with return of investment, or it's different?
Well, return on the investment is similarly in basic accounting. It's similar because the money you invest in order to sell the product to your customer has to be you have to get a return on it, all right? So if you sell it for $5 and the customer pays you $5, basically all you're doing is covering your cost. You're not making any return on your investment. If you took that $100 and put it in the bank, you'd earn interest, okay? If you invested $100 in goods and sold them for $100, what's the return on your investment? Nothing. Your time is also lost. There's no return. You understand that?
Yes, sir. Sir, last question, sir. What about what you've discussed a while ago about the setup in salon in Singapore? So, is that similar with commission basis or it different also?
This is regarding the hair salon in Singapore?
Yes, yes. About the hair salon that has a
Okay, well,
requirement.
hair salon and beauty salons have a special arrangement where they say that you rent a chair. It's basically a commission structure where they deduct the cost of the chair and the materials they use. He uses, he takes the difference. Now, what happens is they already have a building. Let me explain to you. If he does a cut and blow away, the salon charges $80, all right? So on an $80 bill, they will deduct a fixed amount, probably $20, all right? So he gets back $60. So the $60, out of that $60, he also has to cover his $80 rental. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So in any other business selling cars, you'd call it commission. In a beauty industry, hair salon industry, or even in a gym where you have a private trainer, a personal trainer, they charge a minimum rental for the gym equipment and him using it, and he pays them a rent for the day. Everything in excess of that is his profit. Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Does
Thank you
that,
for
does
the
that answer your
clarification, sir.
question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, great. Excellent. All right, let's go on. Yes, Lueli. Hi, Lueli. What's your question?
Yes, good evening, everyone. So, sir, I started a networking business a month ago where clients are invited to join the team. However, I have been experiencing rejections, as many entrepreneurs do. What advice can you give us to become more effective entrepreneurs in the future? Thank you, sir.
All right. So, okay, just let me ask you, what form of networking did you do and through which mechanism?
More on health products, sir.
Yeah, but how did you network? You networked with suppliers or with whom?
With the suppliers.
Okay, well, and what was their reaction?
I need some advice and motivation, sir.
Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you, Lueli, that's a very big question, but I'm going to give you some simple advice, okay? Okay, I want you to get a blank sheet of paper and a pen. Forget what you've done for now. I want you to wipe your brain clean, throw out all the mashed potatoes and mud and sand, whatever you've taught yourself, and learn from me. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
First thing we do, did you ask yourself, the products that I'm selling, do you know who your customer is? Number one, do you know who your customer is? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. What is the profile of your customer? Male, female, what age bracket?
All genders, sir. Open
What
for all.
age bracket? Age bracket? Age bracket?
As 18 years old above.
All right. And what is the minimum cost to sell your product? How much do they have to pay per item?
We have in our company, sir, we offered 1,000 up products.
Okay, you offer 1,000 products, but what is your cheapest product?
Sorry, sir.
What is your cheapest product? If I was going to buy one of your products, what is the cheapest one? How much?
I think the cheapest is 500 pesos.
All right, okay. So let me talk to you about something. Lueli, don't get upset. I want you to wipe out all the mush you have in your brain, all the mashed potatoes,
Yes.
all the things that you think you know, and I want you to learn from me. I'm going to
Yes,
give you
sir.
homework. I'm going to give you homework. I want you to go back and ask yourself, listen carefully, write them down. Who is my customer? Who? All right, who? Is it Filipinos? Is it all nationalities? Why? What is the age of my customer? And why does a customer at 18 compared to a customer at 30 years of age need my product? 3, what benefits does my product bring to this customer profile that other products in the market don't bring? Number 4, what is my selling point on my top 20 products compared to my competition? Number 5, what makes my 20 products better than my competition? And number 6, based on your sales to date, what does your sales data tell you? Who is buying your product? I want to know the age. I want to know the sex. I want to know which category of product they're buying and how much they're spending. And one more important question, Luel. I want you to tell me how often they're buying it. You understand that? How
Yes,
often?
sir.
So let me tell you something. If a customer buys 1 stick of lipstick every 6 months, you cannot make money out of that customer. If you sell the customer lipstick, eyeshadow, powder, mascara, foundation, scrub, and you sell it as a package and know that the customer is going to use the facial scrub or the foundation every day when they come home, and that means they're going to have to buy the same product every month, that's when your product can be profitable. But if you sell a product like a lipstick that is going to last them 6 months, and you don't have any products that complement that lipstick, which they should buy together with that lipstick, your product will not go down well. Number 1. Number 2, as far as networking is concerned, you're doing the wrong networking. Your networking, Lueli, should be with other users in social media. This is how I suggest you do it. You try to find a forum where there's people in the age bracket you want, or people that follow you on Facebook or social media, and create some sort of discussion about the products you're selling. Not trying to sell the products, by talking about why you use the product and why they should use it. And then they will ask you for the product. Number 2, talk about other people who are doing the selling individually. Don't talk to them as a group. Contact them. Hey, hi, Almon, I believe you've been selling products for years. Can you tell me, can you share with me, how did you start? Now, Almon is not going to give you his customers because then he won't have a business. But talk about the problems you're facing with them and they will share them with you. Now, if you buy cosmetic products or health products from a major distributor like Avon in the United States, or any of the other distributors around the world, where you're just selling their product and they ship it to you and you ship it to the customer, you need to talk to the company to provide you more product knowledge or product education, which you can share with your customers. Now, if they're not prepared to do that for you, it means you have to develop it yourself and share that with your customers through social media. Do you understand what I said so far, Lueli?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
No, I don't want you to get upset with me, Lueli, because I know I've basically rewritten your business. Have I done that or not? I've basically told you how to start from scratch. Lueli, can I ask you, I want you to be honest to me. How long have you been doing this business?
2 months ago, sir.
Okay. Can I ask you something? Are you prepared to invest the time to answer my questions in 1 week so I can help you?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Lueli, I will give you 1 week from today. You answer all those questions, and you can either email it to me, and I'll email back to you within 1 week. All right. Email. You have my email. Is that right, Lueli?
Yes, sir, I have.
All right. But send it to me. Just say, Mr. Wally, I'm Wally. Could you help me? Outline all the points, and I will personally reply to you and put your phone number there. If need be, I'll call you and explain it to you. But give me 1 week after you send your email. All right, Lueli?
Noted, sir. I appreciate it.
And Lueli, I'm trying to help you, but the only way I can help you is to take you back to the basics. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Good on you, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go on. Who else would like to talk to Wally? Okay, hi. Are you there, Jennifer? Go, Jennifer. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. About price positioning, like for example, when you're gonna say this is the right price, like for example, you have the cost of 100, is it possible to increase it to 200%, like you sell it in 200 bucks?
Hold on. Jennifer, you're confusing the issue. Listen carefully. You need to tell me what is the cost of the product to manufacture and take it to the point of sale. If it costs you $50 to manufacture,
Like
you
for
buy
example,
it.
sir, 50, yes.
Okay, hold on. So you buy it from your supplier for $50, right? Then you add on all your costs: electricity, rental, storage, if you're storing it in your bedroom, internet connection, the time you spend in front of your computer running the online business, that adds up to another $20. So you now got 50 plus 20, the cost is $70, right? Understand so far?
Yes, that's the cost, yes.
Okay, so when you sell it, you now need to look at how much you need to sell it for to be profitable and expand your business, okay? My mark is you should be selling it as a start from nowhere business. You should be looking at a retail price of somewhere between $150 to $170, all right?
Okay.
Now, what will dictate which one you choose? Be careful. Listen carefully. If you go to the market and your competitor is selling the same product for $140, okay, then that means that the costs you have are too high. You have to try to sell it for either $135 or $139. And you have to try to be able to tell the customer why yours is better than your competitor. So it's not only taking the cost and adding on a profit margin, it's also making sure that that product is still within the range that your competitor is selling at. If you can't reach that same price, that means your costs from your supplier are too high and you're buying from the wrong supplier. Do you understand that?
Okay. Yes,
Does that
because
help
the
you?
price war, like in the competitor side, sometimes you check them, why is them they gotta sell it in the low price and like yours.
That's part of running a business. You have to make a decision. For example, you launch your product at $140. Next week, your competitor goes to $135. So you know your cost is only $70. So probably you go to 130. You take him on, but you only do it for a limited time, okay? And as far as your customer is concerned, our product is 140 for 7 days only. It's available for 130, okay? But you never go all the way back to $70. You never do that. You might go down to $10 or $20 less, but you never go all the way. That's why I said 70, you should be selling for 159, 160, 170. That gives you a margin to play with. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, because there's a bit confusion with the clients and customer. If they're gonna go to the higher price, then make big down. So that will be a big confusion to them.
No, you don't do that. That's what I'm telling you. You range within a reach to the market, okay? So if you offer for 160, you drop to 140 or 130, but you don't go below that. And you drop it on a gradual pace, okay?
Yes, sir.
But then, Jennifer,
Thank
you
you.
have to make, hold on, before you go, I don't want you to get lost and confused. You have to make sure that the price you set is the correct price based on all market factors. And if you're unsure, email me, give me the information, and I will help you, okay?
Thank you, sir. Big help.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, let's go to someone else. Let's talk to Nelson. Hi, Nelson. Go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good evening, and my colleagues, classmates. So my question is, actually, I got two questions. The first question is, what should I do if my startup idea is going nowhere?
Well, if your startup idea is going nowhere, Nelson, do you want me to be honest with you and tell you? Let me tell you. It means that you did not do the groundwork. It means that you went to it with a closed eye, or you thought you know everything and you don't know. That is the first road to failure. Okay? So, what I'm going to tell you, Nelson, is put the past behind you, start fresh, get a blank piece of paper, do your market research just like I told Wally earlier, okay? Send it to me and let me help you, all right? Does that help you, Nelson?
Yes. So next
Please
question.
don't get upset with me, Nelson. I'm trying to help you, all right? Don't get upset with me, okay?
No, that's
All
why
right.
I'm question. That's why I have my questions. So
Yeah,
I
go
know
on.
it's about that. But my next question is,
Go
my
ahead.
second question is, how to start a business when you have no idea?
How to start a business when you have
When you
no
have no
idea.
idea, right?
Well, Nelson, I'm going to answer that in a very simple answer. Starting business requires creativity. Starting business means you have to identify a problem which you think the market needs, all right? Can I tell you what the easiest way to do that, Nelson? Go out and talk to people at a coffee shop. Go to a coffee shop, the Starbucks, find a group of people, say, hey, guys, my name is Nelson. I'm thinking of starting my own business. Can I ask you, if I was to sell you adobo sauces delivered to your house, would you order from me every week? That's the only way you're going to find out, Nelson. You have to test the market, because I don't know what market you're in. I can't tell you how to be creative. If you tell me, Wally, I want to start a business in the Philippines, these are the ideas I have, I can tell you which one I think will work and what it will take, okay? But you have to explore the market, Nelson. You have to do your homework, okay? Are you there, Nelson?
Yeah.
Does that help you, Nelson? I mean, Nelson, unless you want me to tell you this is an idea, then you'll blame me if it fails. You need to do your research. You need to put in an effort, and I will guide you. Do you understand that? Nelson, yes or no?
Yeah,
okay,
all right.
thanks.
Yeah, yes.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, mate. All right, let's go to the next person. Hi, are you there, Alvin?
Yes, sir, Wally. Thank you for
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
opportunity, sir.
No, it's okay. You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I have two questions. First is about selling. On
Yeah.
the selling perspective, how much would be the best percentage to mark up on the item, considering I have the shipping costs, the fixed costs?
Okay, so if you add your fixed costs, the shipping costs leave separate, okay? Do you charge your shipping separately, or you build it into your price? What do you do?
Based on my experience, sir, I already did to add up the shipping costs.
So the shipping cost is included in your selling price, is that right?
Yes, yes.
And then you say my price includes shipping, right? You tell the customer that, right?
Yes,
Okay, all
yes.
right, okay. So this is how I would do it. Listen carefully. Your fixed costs before shipping are $50, right?
Yes.
Your shipping is $10, total of
Yes.
$60. You
Yes.
should be pricing your product somewhere between $110 and $130. Now, what dictates whether you come in at 110 or 130? It depends on your competitors in that market, all right?
All right. Thank you, sir.
But should you go below 110? No. All right? You understand that?
Yes, sir. At least I get your approval from the expert from yourself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like
And
a
if-
check mark to me. I already did the
And
right
if
thing.
Alvin, if you're ever unsure and you want to email me and ask me, let me know. I'm happy to help you. All right, mate?
Yes,
Thanks,
sir. Yes,
Alvin.
sir.
Bye-bye.
The second
Bye.
question is
Yeah. Yes, go ahead.
the second question is on I'm doing a side hustle as a financial advisor. So I'm in the distribution business. What would be your expert opinion if I'm dealing and facing challenges on client retention?
Well, let me tell you something. Financial advisors was one of my occupations when I was very young. I did it for a year. And after a year, I gave up. And let me tell you, in the first year, I made money while I was at university. All right. I used to sell probably 100 policies a month. I was the top of the agency I worked for. All right. But I used to knock doors. I used to spend 12 hours on the weekend walking through apartment buildings, knocking doors and showing a sad face as a university student trying to sell. But I did it for a year and then I decided it was time to give up. But let me tell you what the biggest failure in your business is that you do not use pips and cherries. Do you know what pips and cherries is?
No, sir.
All right. So you talk to me as a customer today. My name is Wally. Wally, you bought my product. Before I finish, can I ask you, is there anybody else in your family or your friends that you think I could help like I've helped you? Yes. Could you be so kind? I'll give you a piece of paper, a form. Can you put their name, phone number, and email address for me? And because I've helped you, could you let them know that Alvin Cabaluna will be calling them in the next week? I will not put any pressure on them. I will offer them my product like I offered it to you, and I will try to help them. Would that be okay with you? Now, most customers, Alvin, if you've looked after them, they'll say yes, right? Yes or no?
Yes, certainly.
So, Alvin, Wally gives you 5 names. You call Wally's friend, he also gives you 5 names. You call the other friend, he also gives you 5 names. So out of one customer, you got 25 names. Out of 25 customers, how many names can you get? 25 times 5, right?
Yes.
So
Exactly.
are you doing that now?
Yes, sir. I'm doing it.
But
Seriously.
why is it not working for you? That means customers are not happy with your service.
Actually, sir, their first like I get down for a survey that they matter on this on the money perspective. The lack
Okay.
of the sources, like
Okay.
they don't
Okay.
understand. Yeah.
Well, Albert, I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. You're not giving the customer enough pain to feel like they need your product. You're selling financial services protection, right? You're selling protection over years where they pay a premium every month to save money.
Yes.
Is that what you're selling? Okay,
Yes,
well,
yes.
you're a failure because the people who taught you to sell it have not taught you how to cause enough pain. Okay? When you sell financial services, the only way the customer will invest in you is if you make them feel the pain that they will suffer when their mother is dying of critical heart condition and they don't have money to pay for hospital bills. The only way they'll feel the pain is when you say, Alvin, you've got a 6-year-old daughter. In 15 years, when she's 19 and she says, Daddy, I want to become a doctor. Do you think you would be a good father if you said, I cannot afford to make you a doctor, go and work as domestic helper? When you pose that question to a customer, Alvin, what have you just done? What did you just do?
I opened their mind.
No, you didn't. What did you do? You caused them pain. You understand that? Yes or no? Do you think as a father, I'm happy for you to tell me that? Or do you think you make me think? You open my mind. I'm going to think, right? Is that right,
Yes.
Elvin? That's
Yes.
what you're doing wrong, Elvin. You're not causing pain. Okay? And Elvin, I teach consultative selling. One day, I'll try to run a session on consultative selling. If you follow my steps of consultative selling, you will have no problem selling financial services. Okay?
I would love to do it, sir.
Because what you first need to do is you need to ask what the customer's situation now. What are the problems that the customer might face next year, the year after, when they're in an accident without medical insurance or when their kids graduate? You let the customer tell you what the problems are. Then you need to actually, ask them how would they feel if you could fix their problems, okay? And then you have to show them a way to do it and let them tell you that they want your product, okay? I call the process care, circumstances, anxieties, repercussions, and expectations. What are their current circumstances? What are the anxieties or problems they're going to face? And if they don't do anything now, what will be the repercussions? Okay. And what can you do to make that go away? Which are the expectations? You understand that?
I got it, sir.
All right. So if you cannot sell your product, Alvin, and you're saying that the customer is saying it's too expensive, it's not the real reason. The reason is because you are not selling financial services. You are not asking the right questions. You are not making them go from wanting to needing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, Alvin. Thank you. I hope that
Thank you.
helps.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody else before we end today's session? Yes, go ahead, Elmon. Tanda Sui, I'll ask my co-host to send it once more. Miss Medina, could you send the link to a student by the name of Tandar Sui, please? Thandar Sui. Send it to him again, please. Thank you. Elmon Gutok. Hi, are you there, Elmon? Go
Hello,
ahead,
sir.
Elmon.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I have one question as a youngster, and especially from someone who's more experienced in the market, especially what's going on. I have something, a question that's maybe out of the topic, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. With regarding to USA and China's tariff wars, I have some very mindful question. I did know that there's 140 plus percentage in between these two countries, major countries, and these two. America owns patents. I am well aware of that, and China is the main manufacturing in terms of goods that we use today. And I know that markets are actually currently shifting to China since it's actually the major creator right now and will be selling at the lower cost and majorly. The main question for me now is actually how much will it affect basically on day-to-day needs, basically let's say McDonald's or something like that in terms
Well,
of
Alman, I can
percentage.
answer your question. Let me answer your question. The
Yes,
question
please.
you're asking me is a very difficult question to answer depending on what part of the world you're in and how much you rely on US product or Chinese product. The US has been planning to do this for 40 years. Presidents have been afraid. Donald Trump is the only one that has the determination to do it. We won't know what the impact is. We won't know how hard it hits until it actually hits, okay? So if you ask me that question in 60 days, I'll be able to answer that. But let me tell you, China has its points. The US has its points. They both have points, but we need to wait and see how the world reacts. You know, countries like Japan, Korea, other countries, Vietnam, have also reacted, but they're not as hardly hit as China. All right. So I would love to answer your question, Almon, but I have to be very careful I don't give you the wrong information. We need to wait and see what sort of reaction Trump gets over the next 60 days. Okay?
Understood. Thank you, sir.
Does that help you, Almon?
Yes, to a certain degree. I was actually understanding most of it. I already know where the thing is going on between the two. I'm just curious as maybe what the margin of pricing from the current value right now. Let's say a McDonald's cost, let's say $4. Maybe how much would it cost later
Well, okay, all
on?
right.
So
Okay, well, let's leave food aside because you'll find McDonald's have production plants in almost every region in the world where they operate. There's only certain products that come out of the US, and there's very few. So I don't think it's going to have a major impact on food for companies like McDonald's or Starbucks, but there will be some impact. But whether that impact is passed on to a customer, I doubt it because their margins are fairly big and they will try to protect it within their margins. The only time it's going to be passed on to the customer is that if they find that that particular product or material has been predominantly hit hard because it's coming out of China or a country that has been hit hard. But again, Almon, unless I look at the buying of McDonald's and go through where they buy from, it would be very hard for me to stipulate. But let me tell you, for some suppliers of products that use imported product from other countries, some restaurants that use truffle, which is important from Europe or Italy or France, or some people that use product that is made in China to produce material in other parts of the world, they are going to be hit hard. And that will have a predominant impact on their product, depending on the margins they currently operate with. But I would be in a much better position to answer your question if you ask me in a couple of weeks' time, once we see the effects that this has taken, because a lot of these companies have not spoken out yet. They're still trying to find out themselves whether they can bear the costs or not. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, talk to you soon. Yeah,
Thank
go
you,
ahead.
sir. Thank you.
You're welcome,
No, it's
Elmo.
okay.
Okay, last question. Go ahead, Nelson.
Yes, sir. Thank you. My question is, may sound so funny, but as a mentor and coach for every student, I just want to proceed with the question. The question is, if you were starting from scratch today with no money, what's the first business you would do?
The first thing you should do, find an idea.
That's what the question is.
Yeah, the first thing you should do is come up with an idea and test that idea before you launch it. That's the first thing you should do. All right, okay? All right, so how about you think of an idea, and when I see you in this talk in 2 weeks' time, tell me what that was, and maybe I can help you with it. Would you be okay with that? You're welcome, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can only talk to 2 more people. So Jessica will be the last. Yeah, go ahead, Maria. Hi, Maria, go ahead.
Hi, Sir Willie. Can I ask about, I need to advise for my future business. How's profitable? It's a spa business, sir.
What do you want to do? What sort of business are you talking about?
About the spa business. Spa.
Spa,
like a clinic spa. Like a salon.
All right.
Spa,
Okay, a salon business. Okay, well, again, this comes down to your background, whether you're a trained stylist or makeup artist. It comes down as to whether you have any experience. It comes down whether you're going to be managing it or employing people to run it for you and pay you rental on your chairs. So before I could give you any idea, Maria, you would have to sit down and talk and write down for me which markets, which country, and give me some research about that country before I could give you that idea. But if you would like to put all your ideas on paper and email them to me, I would love to help you. All right? Okay?
Sir Willie.
You're welcome. You have my email address, right, Maria?
No, I don't have a.
Okay, I'll put my email address in the chat box now. All right, thank you. Medina, could you put my EIH email address in the chat box, please, Medina? Okay, my co-host will put it in the chat box for you. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, sir.
All right, go ahead. But remember, Maria, it might take a week for me to answer you as long as you're aware of that, okay? All right, yeah, Jessica Carullo. Hi, Jessica, your question for me is?
Sir, good evening. I want to ask if it is worth it for me to buy agricultural land from my hometown because I want as an investment maybe 10 years from now because there is school there near from the land. But my husband is.
What do you want to buy? Slow down. What do you want to buy? Give me an idea again. What do you want to buy?
Agricultural land.
Agricultural land. Okay, all right. In which country, ma'am?
In Philippines, ma'am.
Again,
In the Philippines.
I would. You see, Jessica, you're asking me to give you advice on property prices in Philippines. I would have to do some research first. All right. So, if you could provide some information about average cost of land, how long, what has been the increase in the cost of agricultural land over the last 10 years? For example, based on historical, people bought 1 acre of land for $1,000. After 10 years, they sold it for $10,000. How much agricultural land is used and rented or sold every year by people in the Philippines? That would help me. But then I could help you. But you have to be careful. You also have to look at if you buy agricultural land and no one wants to use it for agriculture, can it be used for industrial or commercial building? So you have to be very careful, Jessica, and you have to tell me what the laws in the Philippines are before I can advise you. Do you understand that, Jessica?
Sir, but there's school near that land, and it's the land from my hometown where I came from. So
Okay, all right.
the price is very
Yeah.
high. The month last 10 years, I think the price, I think 200% goes high.
Okay, well, if what you're telling me is correct, I mean, it's something you have to consider based on how much equity you have to invest. Now, if you're going to borrow money to pay for it, you have to consider how you're going to pay the interest to the bank. And also you have to consider if you buy it today, will somebody rent it from you and pay you rent every month so you can pay your mortgage at the bank? Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
But Jessica, I want to give you more help, but you need to provide me some information. If you want to drop me an email, I can call you and try to help you. All right, mate?
Okay.
All
Okay,
right,
sir.
but you
Thank you, sir.
understand where I'm coming from, Jessica? Do you
Yes,
understand what
I
I'm trying to
understand.
advise you? Because if you're going to borrow 20 million peso to pay for the land and no one is going to rent your land, you still have to pay the bank every month, right? You still have to pay the
Yes,
bank.
I understand.
So what you have to ask yourself is, if I buy the land today, is there a farmer out there that will pay me rent every month and use my land so I can pay the bank? That's the biggest question you have to ask yourself. All right? Okay?
Yes, that's
But I'd be
right,
happy to
sir.
help you. Thank you so much. Medina,
Thank you
have
so
you
much,
put my...
sir.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Medina, have you put my email address in the chat group, please? Can you do it again, Medina? I have students asking, ma'am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Wally Rada, and from my co-host today, Miss Medina, thank you everyone for being here. Can everybody give a big hand to Miss Medina and say thank you? Everybody say thank you, Miss Medina. Come on, hurry up. Thank you, Miss Medina. Good, excellent. All right, to my co-host, Miss Medina, to all of you, once again, thank you for being here. My name is Wally Rada. It's been my pleasure presenting this talk 122 to you, our students. Please, if there's other students you know that are studying with you who are not here today, encourage them to join us and learn how they can become more successful. Once again, thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me, but please tell me your name and say that you attended BizTalk 122. I would be happy to reply to you, but please allow me 7 days minimum. From me and my co-hosts to all of you, thank you, everyone. Goodbye, and God bless you all. I love you all. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you.